through here, limbing, so you can get an idea. I'm not going to use the Works to limb anything because my extension cord is just not long enough. I'm just going to use the DeWalt 20 volt, then I'll switch over to the flexvolt and the Milwaukee. Just give you an idea. It'd be a good idea to have my batteries with me probably. Don't try to stick a Milwaukee battery in a flexvolt tool. It might just implode. We'll start off with the DeWalt 20 volt. Sorry, you guys should probably have my batteries with me when I start videos. Okay, so here we go. These are just little guys, like 2.5 inches. This really doesn't have a lot of velocity, RPMs, so it bounces around a lot. It's more like using skill saw has way more RPMs than this does. I don't know, it's just weird. And right at the tip, it seems like it doesn't cut very well. Yeah, it definitely cuts way better when you have it back here closer to the end. Yeah, you pretty much can't do a plunge cut with this. So it seems like starting about right here, it doesn't cut so well. Which is kind of strange to me, but whatever. Alright. Come here. Go, let go. Okay. I would not normally be handling a chainsaw with just one hand, but this guy has a brake. If it did pop back, it would stop pretty fast, so. It binds up because I got it between two branches. Alright, come on. Yeah, this little DeWalt, he's cute. Don't expect to fell any trees with him. I mean, you could, but it'd take a while. Have to be fairly small, too. Alright, well. This is actually my brother's Christmas present. Hopefully he doesn't watch the video and see me dissing this new tool. It's great, it's wonderful, it's perfect. No, it is. It's good for clearing. Like, this is nice, one-handed use, cutting off little branches. This thing's ideal. Going through a forest to clear all the debris. I'd rather have probably this little saw than one of the bigger ones just because it's lighter weight. I'm going to switch over now. Get out of my way. Bang it. Alright, let's go to the flexvolt. Alright, flexvolt. Branches. Alright. That's a much better brake on this flexvolt. Cuts way faster. What's that? Yeah, I mean, that's night and day. never mind. If I was out limbing, I definitely want something with more speed and power. That little DeWalt just kind of like jumps you around. It doesn't spin fast enough to go through it very smoothly. I'd rather have a gas chainsaw probably than that little DeWalt. Or some of you are like, well, duh. Hey, I like my battery toys, tools. Yeah, that's nice. Win for the DeWalt versus the DeWalt. Alright, now back over to the Milwaukee. Let go my ego. The DeWalt seems to rev up faster and stop quicker than any of the saws. The flexvolt does. Alright, hopefully you can see this over here. I'm gonna cut through this guy. That Milwaukee is very smooth though. It's not as fast. It doesn't seem like the RPMs are as fast as the flexvolt, but it's very smooth. It's like it's got just enough RPMs to give it the right amount of torque and speed. Yeah, the Milwaukee's definitely feels solid, and it's not as noisy, I don't think, as the DeWalt is. Yeah, as long as you keep a good chain on these, you won't have any problems. Alright, I'm going to be going into some branch situations where the chain can bind. We'll see how it does in here. I'm not supporting any of it, it's just kind of flopping around, and that seems to be when chains bind the most. Pinch. Alrighty. Let's go through some of the smaller stuff. Alrighty. Try to move the camera. Oh, to point this way a little bit more. Come on, don't pop off. Don't do it. It wants to do it. Alright, might be a little lopsided, but at least you can see. Okay. I think, yeah. Alright. The chain has stayed pretty good. it doesn't seem to have any trouble. It's definitely getting loose, being janked on and pulled. So time to, that thing's hard to get out of there, which is a good thing, but still hard. Okay, undo the 2 bolts. There we go. That's about right. It's a little bit more work than the DeWalt, but can't complain. Alright. I'm going to switch back over to the flexvolt now. See how we do through the chains, because I'd like to know how that retention system works. Just for those of you that are wondering, I've got 3 bars on the Milwaukee. That's for the cutting that we've done. And on the DeWalt, I've got 2 bars. And haven't even gone through this yet. Alright, let's see what we're doing. Kind of stepping out over there. Kind of don't like this push button. It's a little stiff. And once you push it down, you don't have to hold it down, but you kind of do anyways, just because your thumb's already there. Alright, I'm going to try to turn the camera a little more. We're stuck in the mud. Alright. Can you see? Maybe? Not really. Come on. Alright, that's where I'm going. This little tripod mount for my camera. Well, it's actually just a smartphone. Okay. About halfway on bar oil. I haven't been checking that because I haven't really been doing much, not comparatively, but about halfway down on bar oil. Alright, now, you know, this chain is actually on there tighter than the Milwaukee was. Maybe I just haven't gotten into the right binding situation, but I can handle all this rigmarole without really loosening at all. Then that's my approval. Alright, yeah, so doesn't get much easier than that. Yeah, I mean, for the cutting I've done, I mean, I haven't really done much. I limbed a large branch off a tree, cut it into little pieces. Haven't really done much. Been using multiple different saws to do it as well. I mean, they're operating how I would think for a cordless saw. The DeWalt does not have the problem that I was originally thinking it would, which was every 5 seconds I would have to retighten the bar. But I mean, it's going through all this brush and pinch kind of stuff, not really having an issue. Now, if I got it onto a branch that was coming down and it pinched the bar good, I mean, I know I'd have to retighten it, but it's got a quick tighten system. So, I mean, the engineers behind it, I was thinking, man, that's really dumb, but it is actually working. The only thing I would change on this, since the retention system seems to work pretty well, is if this one nut works okay to hold the bar in place, then all you need to do is just give us a better turn knob than this little piece of plastic here. That would be the only thing I would change. Change that here and change that here on the bar oil. I am not noticing any bar oil leaking out. I do see bar oil, you know, on the innards there, which is good. But we're at about a little less than half capacity of bar oil since I filled it up. So it does go through bar oil pretty quickly, but this chamber does not hold a whole lot of bar oil. But yeah, this would be it. That would be it. If DeWalt were to come out with a new anything, just change out these pieces of plastic little flip tops here, and just give us a normal gas cap style turn knob. I don't care if it sticks out a little bit. That's really not going to do anything. If it sticks out half an inch for me to grab onto instead of it being flush, that's fine. Nobody's going to be like, oh, that's terrible. Because, I mean, how often am I going to need to get up against a wall? Yeah, I mean, there's not ever going to be a situation where this being proud a little bit is going to really hurt anything. Yeah, I would just change this one little detail to a real turn knob. You can still do the auto, the anti. Oh, my words have left me. Anti-torquing down too much thing. And make this a little bit sturdier. But I was coming out here expecting to just be blown away by the Milwaukee versus the DeWalt, and it has not been the case. I mean, the Milwaukee's good, but they're very comparable, very much so. But I still do like this 2-nut retention system. Every real gas chainsaw has this, and I definitely like this knob over here. We are I mean, it still looks full of bar oil. So the DeWalt is either leaking more or using more bar oil than the Milwaukee or something. Yeah, I mean, looking inside here. The Milwaukee is cutting up its guard a little bit. It's weird. Alright, I'm gonna pull this battery out. I'm starting to get a little worried. Inside of here, just looking in, I'm seeing like cuts. I don't know if that's what that's from. It looks like it's digging into the guard. Should be weird. Inside the DeWalt. Sorry guys, you guys can pretty much turn off the video. Yeah, I don't see that in the DeWalt. The DeWalt has lots of space around it. Huh. The Milwaukee guard on the inside, and I can't show you on the camera because I can't even see myself. It's plastic. This plastic cover comes so close to the blade here that it looks like it's cutting up the plastic on the inside just a little bit. I can't see there. I'm going to take this apart and I'm going to look at it. Alright, come on, little scrunch. There we go. So let's pop these nuts off of here. Yeah, so I am pretty impressed with the DeWalt. Not as much torque, but it cuts just fine if you just let it do its work and you don't push down on it too hard. Alright, let's look at this cover here, because this is what was getting cut up. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to set these down and set this little clip. It's got a buildup of bar oil here. Nope, no scarring on that part. But over here, I don't know why. I'm going to try to show you. Come on, focus. You see the scratches? Right over here? Right there? Right there, there's just scratches across the cover. And I don't know what that's from. Maybe it's from little bits of branch being pulled inside. Yeah, I mean, it's already chewing away. And a little bit at the top as well. It's cutting into this part up here. Almost as if the bar itself is too thin to where they didn't machine this plastic quite to the same size as the bar. And so the chain itself, as it's going around, is digging into this plastic, which it's not going to affect it. It's not at a place where that even matters. I could take a knife and cut all of it off that it's touching, and it wouldn't change this, because this part right here is what holds the bar down, and it's cutting into this outside piece. So even if this whole piece was gone, it would still have plenty of stability, because this is really what's holding the chain down. Yeah, I think they just made this a little bit, that's definitely got glass fiber in it. Yeah, that's super rigid. No, it's not rigid. Oh, anyways, bad joke, sorry. Yeah, when's rigid gonna come out with the chainsaw? Everybody else has got one. It's like a cool thing to do. Yeah, that's that. I'll show you a picture of inside. Because if this part of the video hasn't gone on long enough, you might as well stick with me. Alright. Put these two right next to each other. Yeah, the DeWalt builds up a lot of bar oil and junk in the middle. I don't really like that so much. The Milwaukee only had debris really on the outside of it, up here. Yeah. Alright, anyways, I'm gonna pop you guys off of the tripod. Woo! Alright, here we go. Alright, so this is the Milwaukee after cutting what we've cut. It's got a little bit of buildup right here. Bar oil, you know, across there. A little bit of buildup here. Not much going into the middle part. It had most of the buildup of sawdust up here. The buildup was right on this part, which that part, you know, is this top part. So that's where the most of the buildup was, right there. Because you know it gets ejected out the bottom on this side. Not much buildup anywhere else. The DeWalt has a lot of buildup that was right here in the middle, and a little bit down here catching on this little screw. Have any cutting? No, it doesn't look like it. But maybe it might be cutting into that. Because the DeWalt is not kept off of the side here as much as the Milwaukee is. You see how far, well, maybe you can't. Okay, you see how far off that chain is? It's never going to touch that side. But on the DeWalt, it's a lot closer to hitting this, so it could deflect and hit whatever this plastic bushing piece is. Let's see, anything else? That's pretty greasy right in there. The DeWalt seems like it loses a lot more bar oil than the Milwaukee. The Milwaukee's a lot cleaner. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. It would depend, I guess, on the chain longevity. Because, I mean, I don't care if bar oil is going everywhere, but it does seem like the DeWalt leaks out a lot more than the Milwaukee. Because this one's still got pretty much, not full, but close to full amount of bar oil. And it seems like it's lubing everything just fine, so the Milwaukee lubing mechanism might be a little bit better than the DeWalt. But like I said, having too much lube isn't necessarily a bad thing. That'll increase the chain life. So, I'm a flexvolt guy, but I think I'll wind up keeping the Milwaukee. I'm gonna come over here and try to cut down a big tree, like a big one if I can find it. And I want to see really how these two stack up against each other.